I tell you what, this race for the top four is the best one I can remember in a long, long time, because look at the top of the Premier League table. Arsenal are fourth. I think it changed about 5 times over the weekend, but Spurs played first, so they went fourth. Arsenal winning at West Ham, 2 points above Antonio Conte's team. They've both played 34 games, and there is a North London derby to come on the 12th of May, which is a Thursday as well. What a day that is going to be. We've got Will, we've got AJ, and we've got Dan from the Front Three podcast in the studio with us. Good to see you, boys.
Good to
Arsenal fan, Argentina fan / Fulham.
He doesn't know what he is.
He's confused.
Yeah.
Just got Maradona on the end.
Rest of the week.
Look, let's talk to you firstly, Will. How as an Arsenal supporter, how are you feeling? You got the job done yesterday, but I mean, this is ridiculous. Is it the best race for top four or the worst race ever for top four?
Worst race. Because if you look at our games recently, we take the lead, then the other team comes back against Chelsea, against Manchester United, and then yesterday against West Ham as well. So with Arsenal, they always leave you on the edge of your seat. So as a fan, even though we're 2 points clear, I'm never really satisfied. So it's only when we hit those 38 games that we're top four.
Yeah.
Hopefully that I'll be settled.
Yeah, and AJ, I think you spoke about this the other week on your podcast about between City and Liverpool being which is better, to be the hunter or the hunted. You could say the same about Arsenal at the minute.
With Arsenal, I think it's a little bit different, as Will just mentioned, because Arsenal never give you that, all right, cool, we're going to be fine.
Can you cope with this to the end of the season, boys?
I haven't been coping with Arsenal for the last few years, but no, it's such an exciting race, especially as an Arsenal fan. I think it's easier to chase because you have something to go for. Unless you've got a different type of mentality where it's, it's just about us. It doesn't matter what anyone else does. Let's get our heads down and win every game that's ahead of us, win your next game. But, you see the way it's been shifting and changing. But football's all about momentum. And I think right now the momentum is with Arsenal. So hopefully that holds us in good stead because we need top four this year.
Yeah. Look, Dan, you're the neutral in this one, really, aren't you? So you can look at it a bit more objectively. And when we look at the run-in, and I mentioned the North London derby to come on the 12th of May, let's not forget the fact that Tottenham also go to Anfield, don't they? And play Liverpool, which could have a huge impact on the title race. Tottenham having to do the chasing, but for you, Arsenal in the box seat, they've got Everton last day of the season. Everton might need something to stay in the Premier League. There's so many narratives everywhere.
But I think, Liverpool against Tottenham, if Liverpool were to win that game, Arsenal beat Leeds and get a result at Tottenham, I think the end of the game, end of the season game might not even matter at all. So that will be an interesting one to take a look at.
What's amazing, Dan, as well, is the fact that, excluding Chelsea on that left-hand side, I've only put Chelsea there, really, because actually Chelsea could finish fourth. Arsenal are only 3 points behind Chelsea after that win yesterday. But let's just say that Tottenham lose at Anfield, right, and Arsenal beat Leeds. Arsenal would have a 5-point advantage going into the North London derby.
Exactly. And you would hope that would give them momentum, right? They would fancy that game, not only because of, wanting to reach top four, but because it's a North London derby.
Yeah.
Arsenal haven't won there in a while, and I think in Song and Harry Kane, they could mess up Arsenal's defence anytime they decide to. So, regardless, that's something that
So, what are you trying to say here, Dan? Are you trying to break these guys' hearts?
Look, the truth of the matter is Son and Kane are an incredible partnership.
Yeah.
And when they're on fire, they're on fire. But what you'll find with Arsenal is we have goals from all over the park. And with Arteta now implementing his style of play, we have patterns of play which I think could tear apart that Tottenham defence, especially their right-hand side. And we can get in behind. And with the way Eddie's comes to the forefront now, and he likes to get in behind as well. No defender likes running the other way. So I think it'll be a great game. I'm looking forward to it, but we'll do it.
Even as a neutral, I'm like, oh.
I know, it's so exciting. Well, let's talk about the personnel that Arsenal have got, actually, because you say you've got goals all over the pitch, but Eddie Nketiah is a name that's latter end of the season, hasn't been involved too much all season, but he's stepping up when he's needed and he's getting a couple of goals. Where do you see his role in this Arsenal squad going forward?
That's an interesting question because from his point of view, he hasn't had much opportunities. Lacazette has been playing in front of him. Now, from his point of view, he might feel like, well, because Lacazette hasn't been playing well, now I'm given the chance. Whereas, does he really think that Arteta really fancies him, or is Arteta really just playing him just because Lacazette isn't doing the job for? So for him, he might look at it and say, actually, I want to play under a coach who actually wants me to start games and to score goals. So I think he's in a tough situation. If I was him personally, I would probably leave.
Do you reckon they'll both leave, AJ? I mean, look, from an Arsenal point of view, because actually they're both out of contract, and it's interesting because Eddie Nketiah started the last 4 games.
Yeah.
And he had loads of chances yesterday as well, didn't he? I know he got a couple of goals a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I think he played really well yesterday, actually. One of the best players on the park. Unlucky not to score. You look at his situation, like Will said, he wants to play football. And right now, he's doing the best thing for his career. He's putting himself in the shop window. He's shown what he can do. And so I think he'll probably will leave in the summer. I think he will. And I don't think he's going to be short of suitors. And I think Lacazette, he's coming to the end of his Arsenal career now, and he probably wants to move on. And
but let's be honest, neither of them are good enough for Arsenal going forward. You need a 20-goal-a-season
100%.
striker, don't you? And they are not that.
Especially if we're going to go into the Champions League as well.
Well, speaking of Champions League, I'll come to you at the end. I won't make the Arsenal fans talk about Tottenham players. But Kane and Son, should they be playing Champions League football?
Absolutely. I think when you look at those 2 players, I think they walk into any team in Europe right now.
Yeah.
For the last 3 years, I would even argue. I think Harry Kane, I'm a big fan of his. I call him Harry Hitman Kane because he's just that kind of player, And Son, I think you look at the whole of EPL, I think he's one of the grossly underestimated kind of player, Son, and he provides goals every season. I think that combination. Yeah, he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. I'm a big fan of his.
And he's 29 in his peak. This should be his time.
Yeah.
It should have been many years ago. Since he's been at the Premier League, I think he's been very consistent, and he's always there when Tottenham has needed him.
Look at this one, Dan.
Oh.
I mean, look, with Son, he's saying he gets in any team in Europe. He does as well, doesn't he? So he said that with Kane.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm amazed that he's not linked with all the big title-winning teams as Kane has been for a
And I think that works.
Ambition, I think, maybe.
I don't know. I think whatever it is, I think it works in Tottenham's favour that no one is talking about Son because they can't afford to lose him. I think as much as Harry Kane's been phenomenal for Tottenham, I think Son. No. They've got to do whatever they need
You'd have him at Arsenal, wouldn't you?
100%. He scores all types of goals. Left foot. Yesterday we saw left foot twice yesterday.
Yeah.
We've seen him on his right, and he just has the ability to turn it on whenever he wants. He can go in behind. He can get on the ball and play. He's just great to watch.
Yeah.
Great to watch.
Yeah, look, there we go. When you look at Mohamed Salah, obviously leading the way, but Son second on the list, going for that golden boot, and Kane down there as well with 13. And Kane's not had a good season in terms of Premier League numbers. He's still banging in goals for England and in the Europa Conference League, etc., wasn't he?
Son said yesterday, he doesn't really care about the golden boot and it's about the team and stuff.
Yeah, right.
But in the back of his mind,
right.
he want to win the golden boot in the Premier League.
I know they come out with these lines and you think, whatever.
Very well media trained, as we like to call it.
I tell you what, in that bottom graphic we just saw there's no Chelsea strikers anywhere in there. Should Chelsea be a little bit worried? I feel Thomas Tuchel is starting to be like, this isn't quite going to plan.
You can tell he's a bit agitated on the sidelines now. I think since their exit from the Champions League and everything surrounding, the club being taken over and stuff, I think he's handled it very well in front of the media. But I think now we can see the team is struggling a bit for goals, number one, and number two, the big question mark around Lukaku and what he's offering them right now,
Well, that's the point, though, isn't it, Will? Because, Lukaku, when he came in, was supposed to be the missing piece in the jigsaw and taking them towards the Premier League title. This is a team that had won the Champions League and beat Manchester City. They obviously didn't get the email about being in the title race, did they? And it's all now hinging on winning the FA Cup. If they don't win the FA Cup, that's been a complete failure this season.
Yeah, I would say so, because if there's so many points behind Liverpool and Man City, earlier on in the season, they were even in front of both teams. Now they're well behind. So I think, like you said, out of the UEFA Champions League, struggling to maintain that third place. I think if they don't win the FA Cup, I can't see them being Liverpool, to be honest. It will go down as a failure.
And the ultimate sword in the side would be if they finish fourth, because at least they can have the pride of London tag if they finish fourth.
Tuchel's still the right man for the job for you?
At Chelsea, I think they're going to stick with him. I don't see many people around Europe right now that can't take them through sort of like this wilderness they find themselves in with what's going on with selling of the club and everything like that. I think they should stick with him. When he come in, short period of time, he done amazing things for them. Allow him maybe, see how he gets on in the transfer window, what he can bring in, see how they start, and then Chelsea can decide to make the decisions that they like to do, with getting rid of managers and everything like that. But I'm a big fan of Tuchel, so I think he will see Chelsea to where they need to be.
Look, you three guys are pretty cool guys. You know, stylish. You've got some threads
swag
on that
going
people are looking at.
Well,
Bill's feeling a little bit jealous out there.
I'm nowhere near this. But I don't think you guys are anywhere near Roy Hodgson either, if I'm honest.
With the shades.
Talking fashionistas. You just said that they were shades that when the sun comes out, they get darker and darker and darker.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? You think Roy Hodgson pulled out
I
sunglasses?
think so, man.
Wow.
Go on, who are your fashion icons in the Premier League? Who do you look at and think, yeah, okay.
For me, Pep's a fashionista.
Yeah.
When he does the chinos.
My question with Pep, right? I'm just going to go all in here, right? He gets given those clothes to wear on the sideline.
His wife is a fashion designer.
Oh, is it?
Really? Okay, I didn't know
But
that.
you still got to rock it and make it work. And he
that's
does.
true.
He does the
So
chinos.
you're
like
saying
Mike dressed
Roy
as Lyman
couldn't
now,
wear
couldn't he?
those
He doesn't.
hoodies as well. Roy Hodgson couldn't wear the hoodies in the holes.
Oh
in the
my
No
jeans.
chance.
Maybe with the sunglasses, look all right.
So Pep for you, Will, what have you got?
Someone like Pogba.
Yeah.
He's always
Yeah.
a bit eccentric with his look.
Yeah.
He'll go for a bit of red, a bit of blue in the hair. Always changing something.
Too eccentric.
Even though
Dan, what about you?
He's looking at me like that.
No,
It's too
listen.
eccentric.
For me, a Jurgen Klopp cap, long
stop
jacket,
it.
New Balances, we're good.
Honestly,
He's always on point. He's
I
club
feel like-
shop Klopp.
I feel like Wenger set the tone
Always
with
got
that,
the
though.
merch with the
jacket.
That was
The jacket, yeah.
Wenger's still trying to put that jacket
the
on.
zip.
Every week with a zipper. But you know who actually dresses? I don't know what people. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. If you've had a look at
Yes.
his Instagram,
Yeah.
In the dress, you're talking about.
Yeah.
he pulls out some crazy outfit.
No, he does.
You guys could pull off the dress.
Will,
now.
AJ, Dan, thank you so much for joining us. It's been fabulous to have you in there. From the Front Three podcast, we'll be checking it out. I don't know, Spotify, wherever it is, we'll find it.
Cheers,
But thank
boys.
you for joining us. All right.